Krishna Ballabha Jaya Girivardhana Yashodanandana Braja Janandana Yashodanandana Braja Janandana Yamuna Tira Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya So Yogendra Prabhu did that verse yesterday already. It's 18.
So what verse?
19 he did?
He did 18.
Oh yes, I saw the video was posted quite early.
Yeah,
It was really nice.
Yeah.
It was like right there. So I said he did 18.
Well, one thing is that I was going to mention that for some reason, I mean, and I'm not, because the Bhaktisiddhanta class I gave was really all over the map, but the Bhagavatam class from the Wednesday before was posted twice, and it says that it's the Bhaktisiddhanta's appearance day lecture.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you send me the link, then I will fix it. Okay? When you go to the YouTube,
Yeah.
if you can copy the link and send me an email, then I can.
Are you talking Chinese? To copy what? How do I copy?
Then how do I know that which one is wrong? I mean, is name wrong? Is it
No, it says that it's Bhaktisiddhanta's appearance day, but it's actually the same class as on like 2 classes prior. It's a Bhagavatam class that I gave. It's not the Bhaktisiddhanta class.
Is that the Bhaktisiddhanta?
No, it's, yeah.
Huh.
And I thought maybe you were being kind, because but I was kind of curious how off the mark I was. It goes my Bhagavatam class, and then I think Yogendra's or somebody's class.
Maybe we can sit down sometime together in the café room and figure it out.
Yeah, and then or you can just come down to my place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll show you. there's one other class, like maybe a Sunday feast lecture by Mama Priya or something.
Or maybe I can come down to a place and then we can fix it because
Yeah. I'll do the best thing.
Yeah. Let me know if there is anything off on that, the heading or anything. Let me know.
Okay, we'll let you
Because
know.
it can.
But it was
It
nice
can
to see the
happen.
class posted. Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayanam Namaskritya
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Devim Sarasvatitam Vyasam
Devim Saraswati Vyasam
Tato Jayam Udirayat.
Tato Jayam Udirayat.
Before reciting this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Sarasvati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. On the phone. Srinvatam Swakata Krishna
Srinvatam
Swakata Krishna
Punya Sarvana Kirtanaha
Punya Sarvana Kirtanaha
Vidyanta Stohi Bhadrani
Ridyanta
Sarvadani
Vidhinoti Shritsatam Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, super soul, in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee, who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. Nasta prayesha bhatreshu
Nasta prayeshu bhatreshu
Nityam bhagavata sevaya
Nityam bhagavata sevaya
Bhagavati uttama sloke
Bhagavati uttama sloke
Bhakti bhavati naistaki
Bhakti bhavati naistaki.
By regular attendance in the classes on the Bhagavatam, and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and love and service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact.
Yeah.
So I have to read the next one in English. As soon as irrevocable loving service is established in the heart, the effects of nature's modes of passion and ignorance, such as lust, desire, and hankering, disappear from the heart. Then the devotee is established in goodness and becomes completely happy. I call that the happy verse.
What was it I missed?
It's the very next one, which is 17, 18, 19.
Yeah, it's immediate.
1 to 19.
Next one.
I'll read it again. I like that verse.
Yeah.
As soon as, because it says an irrevocable fact in the preceding verse, and then it comes back with irrevocable again. As soon as irrevocable loving service is established in the heart, the effects of nature's modes of passion and ignorance, such as lust, desire, and hankering, disappear from the heart. Then the devotee is established in goodness, and he becomes completely happy. Wow. That's the very next verse. We hear the other ones over and over again. But I said, that one, I'm going to book, I think they call it book ending. Like see what's in the front and, read it in the edge verses. Okay. Now.
Who doesn't want to be happy?
That's why we chant. When we do. Om Gana Temperanda Shadananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unlitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha.
Usually say it after you read the verse of purport.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Just when you say it when you're
That was
about
just
to
a practice.
speak.
Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter.
Okay. I just like that too. Okay, the verse is 1:19-19. And would our reader start with the first?
Maharshayo
Maharshayo
Vai
Vai
Samupagata
Samupagata
Yay.
Yay.
It's not what's on the board.
Oh, it's not up there?
No, it's not.
Oh, sorry.
So anybody's got a phone is going to be able to keep up or look. Maharshayo Vai Samupagata Yay.
Maharshayo
Vai Samupagata Yay. Prasashya, sorry, switch the S's. Prashasya,
Prasasya
Sadhu,
Sadhu
Iti,
Viti
Anumodamanaha,
Anumodamanaha
Prashasya, Sadhu, Iti, Anumodamanaha,
Prasasya Sadhu Anumodamanaha
Uchuhu,
Uchuhu
Prajanugraha,
Prajanugraha
Shila, Sara, Uchuhu Prajanugraha Shila Sara,
Uchuhu
Prajanugraha Shila Sara,
Yad Uttama Shloka Guna Birupam Yad Uttama Shloka Guna Birupam Maharshayo Vai Samupagataye Prashasya Sadviti Anumodamanaha Comes together Sadviti Anumodamanaha Uchuhu Prajanugraha Shila Sara
Uchuhu Prajanugraha Shila Sara
Group, I do it again. Uchuhu Prajanugraha Shila Sara
Uchuhu Prajanugraha Shila Sara
Yad Uttama Shloka Guna Birupam
Yad Uttama Shloka Guna Birupam
Yad Uttama Shloka Guna Birupam Maharshayo Vai Samupagataye Prashasya Sadviti Anumodamanaha Uchuhu Prajanugraha Shila Sara Yaduttama Shloka Guna Birupam
Okay, the chant, please.
Maharshayo Vai Samupagata Ye
Maharshabhai Samupagataye
Prashasya Sad Iti Anumodamana
Prashasya Sadaviti Anumodamanaha
Uchu Prajanugraha Shila Sara Yad Uttama Shloka Guna Birupam
Maharshayo Vai Samupagataye Prashasya Sadavaiti Anumodamanaha Uchu Prajanugraha Shila Sara Yaduttama shloka gunanubhirupam.
Yaduttama shloka gunanirupam.
Is it? Okay, word meanings. Maharshayaha,
Maharshayaha,
the great sages.
the great sages.
Vai,
Vai,
as a matter of course.
as a matter of course.
Samupagataha,
Samopagataha,
assembled there.
assembled there.
Yea,
Yea,
those who.
Prashasya,
By praising.
by praising.
Sadhu,
Sadhu,
quite all right.
quite alright.
Iti, thus.
Thus,
Anumodamanaha,
Anumodamanaha,
all approving.
all approving.
Uchuhu,
Said,
Praja Anugraha,
Prajanugraha,
doing good to the living being.
Doing
good
good
to the living being.
Shila Saraha,
Shilasaraha,
qualitatively powerful.
qualitatively powerful.
Yet, because. Uttama Shloka,
Uttama Shloka,
one who is praised by selected poems.
one praised by selected poems.
Guna Abhirupam,
Guna Abhirupam,
as beautiful as godly qualities.
as beautiful as godly qualities.
First read the translation purport. If you say that before you start speaking.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, read it first.
You are getting more mercy from Guru Maharaj, you know.
It says
Recited at every turn.
1919.
Did you lose your place?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you wanted to go read that verse?
Yeah. Okay. And the purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki.
Jai.
The translation by Srila Prabhupada Jai.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
All the great sages
All the great sages
who were assembled there also praise the decision of Maharaj Parikshit.
Also praise the
decision of Maharaj Parikshit.
And they expressed their approval by saying, very good.
Very good.
Naturally, the sages are inclined to do good to common men.
Naturally, the sages inclined to do good to common man.
For they have all the qualitative powers
For they have all the
powers
of the Supreme Lord.
of the Supreme Lord.
Therefore, they were very much pleased
Therefore, they were very much pleased
to see Maharaj Parikshit,
to see Maharaj
a
Parikshit,
devotee of the Lord,
the devotee of the Lord.
and they spoke as follows.
And they
Spoke as follows.
Now we have to wait till tomorrow, or it's the day after tomorrow,
What?
to find out what they spoke.
Yeah.
Actually, 2 days after tomorrow.
Oh no, that's right. It's Tuesday. It'll
Yeah.
come. Okay, but I already had. Anyway, let's. Now I say. Om Ganatam Ranasya. Come on.
After the purport.
After the purport. Okay, let's wait for the purport. Thank you. See, I should have this written down, and I have to say, excuse me. The natural beauty of the living being is enhanced by raising up to the platform of devotional service. That's important. Maharaj Parikshit was absorbed in attachment for the Lord Krishna. Seeing this, the great sages assembled were very pleased, and they expressed their approval by saying, very good. Very good. No problem. Such sages are naturally inclined to do good to the common man, and when they see a personality like Maharaj Parikshit advance in devotional service, their pleasure knows no bounds, and they offer all blessings in their power. The devotional service of the Lord is so auspicious that all demigods and sages up to the Lord himself become pleased with the devotee. And therefore, the devotee finds everything auspicious. All inauspicious matters are removed from the path of a progressive devotee. Meeting all the great sages at the time of death was certainly auspicious for Maharaj Parikshit, and thus he was blessed by the so-called curse of a Brahmin boy. Now, Om Gana Tembrandasya Ganasya Savakaya Tasma Shirube Nama Tasma Shirube Nama. Now, I don't have it.
You don't have it on your phone now?
No, it's off. And it goes on to say, I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. When will Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, who has established within this material world a mission to fulfill the desires of Lord Chaitanya, give me shelter under his lotus feet? Sometimes we hear that, do we?
Can I say a little quick something?
You may.
When Prabhupada was lecturing in London, the Rolling Stones were there and they picked up on the Give Me Shelter.
Oh.
And they went home and made that song.
And that went into the music.
Yeah, because he actually says, give me shelter, not give me shelter. He said, give me shelter, and they went home and wrote that song.
Ah.
Always wondered what that meant when they were singing it decades ago.
It's interesting that our souls, us as souls, I should say, not our souls, our body, but us as souls, are Satchidananda, and we already know this. And so when people hear that, shelter, that concept, I'm sure some people caught on, or it reminded them. As we look at, now I go back to Maharaj Parikshit. It's interesting to see that the sages were so happy to see Maharaj Parikshit come to this level of advancement. And they actually complimented him very good. Also, we see that the reason why is because Maharaj Parikshit had advanced this platform of devotional, rising up to the platform of devotional service. And that is what I did some research, a little research on. But also notice further down, after being complimented very good, it talks about the sages, that they were actually at this level which was similar to the Lord. And they were interested in doing good to the common man. And when they saw that a common man, it says, though he is a king, it says that such sages are naturally inclined to do good to the common man. And when they see a personality like Maharaj Parikshit advance in devotional service, their pleasure knows no bounds. So how happy were they? Beyond any bounds. It also says that they were offering blessings too. They offer all blessings in their power. And many times you'll see a devotee say, I need your blessings. And I think someone asked a guru and said, I need your blessings, Maharaj. He said, you don't need my blessings. You need to do this. And it was kind of funny, like, give me your blessing, give me your blessings. We beg from the devotees, give me your blessings. And I think the comment was that you do this.
Is this the story I told you?
No, it's not from Prabhupada. It was current guru said. Yeah. They had to. I think a lot of devotees may ask as a shortcut to get things done. Give me a blessing, and then this will be easily done. Instead of I might have to work for this, and we shouldn't use it as an excuse. Like, give me your blessings and be magically done. I think that's what the guru might have picked up on. But in this case, they gave him blessings. And they were pleased. Also, Maharaj Parikshit found everything auspicious. And I think the kids years ago, they used, in our neck of the woods, Atlanta, we used to have this phrase going around, hey, how's it going? It's all good. And I thought about that and I said, it's not all fun. It could be all good. This could be good, this could be bad. Even, I think there's a story about the king's son who was captured and they had cut his ear off in the battle. And I think the story was, this could be good, this could be bad. The horse lost a shoe, this could be good, this could be bad. He was captured and had his ear cut off in the fight. This could be good, this could be bad. Then they were going to do a sacrifice. He said, but he's blemished, so we can't sacrifice him. And they let him go. I think you had told a story similar to that. There's several variants.
Yeah, it's a different. That one's from the Bhagavatam.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure that has to do, or maybe not the Bhagavatam, but it has to do with people wanting to have a human sacrifice to Durga, goddess Durga, Kali. I don't know if it's in Bhagavatam or something, but
maybe Jen Barrett's story?
No, it's another story. But the other one that I was telling is like comes from like a Chinese folklore tale. Where, do you want me to tell it real quick?
Sure.
So this is a farmer, and one day a horse wanders onto his property, and all of his neighbors say, "Oh, this is so auspicious. You have a new horse." He says, "Good luck." They said, "Oh, this is very good luck." This is very good luck. And he said, "Good luck, bad luck, who knows?" So then, after some time, the horse left. And so everyone said, "Oh, this is such bad luck, you lost your horse." He said, "Good luck, bad luck, who knows?" Then what was I going to say? A few months pass by, and he comes with a wife, a female, and they had a colt, and then all the neighbors said, "Oh, this is such good luck. Now you have 2 horses and a young one coming." So he said, "Good luck, bad luck, who knows?" Then after some time, because he had the 2 horses, he was using one for farming and the other one for driving a cart, getting to and from town. And his son was on the cart, and it hit a rock, and he fell off, and he broke his leg. And everyone said, "Oh, this is such bad luck." And he said, "Good luck, bad luck, who knows?" So then comes some time pass. This king, the province they lived in, he was very ambitious materially and militarily, and he declared war to gain some more property. And so he was sending out his soldiers, and he was drafting all the young men. And they saw that his leg was broken, so they said, "Oh, you're no good. You're no good to us." And then everybody says, "Oh, you're so lucky." He said, "Good luck, bad luck, who knows?"
There's a lesson in that. And for the devotee, everything is auspicious because we're working our way back home. So, thank you for sharing that, Prabhu.
It's kind of the same, what you were talking about. It's a
Mhm.
little bit different.
And it actually, this purport ends this way. Meeting all the great sages at the time of death was certainly auspicious for Maharaj Parikshit, and thus he was blessed by the so-called curse of the Brahmana's boy. So he was actually blessed by the curse.
They say he could have counteracted the curse, but he didn't.
Right, he actually just wanted to go home. He counted it as a blessing.
Hence, the blessing in disguise.
And my phone has actually skipped over to the next verse. It talks about the politicians, which would be interesting for the next class.
Excuse me for interrupting again, that band Marari years ago had that song, I've been poor, I've been rich, can't remember which was which.
You remember that, Prabhu? You were in that
What?
circle. Marari.
The band Marari.
The band Marari had a
in the
song.
70s.
I've been poor, I've been rich.
That was my ex-wife and not our band. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can't remember which was which. I love that.
Are we doing comments?
What?
Are we doing comments now?
Well, we can.
No.
But actually, we should probably proceed forward because I have to read about the appearance. Is it appearance day?
Yeah, disappearance.
Disappearance day. So just a few quick comments about Maharaj Parikshit was so focused on it. It says this: he was absorbed in attachment to the Lord, and it was basically about he reached a level of platform of devotional service, and that stuck out to me. And so I was going to do a discussion at some stage of the stages of advancement, the 9 kinds of bhakti. Of course, the first stage, the new devotees. Do you know the stages of advancement? Would you name it for me? Okay, the first one is faith, Shraddha. Can we say that? Shraddha. Faith. Next one is Sadhu Sangha.
Sadhu Sangha.
And that is association with devotees.
Association with
Devotees.
Bhajan Kriya.
Bhajan Kriya.
Initiated by a spiritual master and trained.
Initiated and trained by spiritual master.
And trained.
And training.
And those are the 2 railroad tracks.
No.
Training by the spiritual master and being initiated by the spiritual master are 2 railroad tracks.
No, it's preaching and deity worship.
I thought that when the spiritual master, functionally, the spiritual master initiates you, but you will get training also. Not necessarily by the same spiritual master, but you get training.
That Bhagavad Gita
Bhagavad
is hearing, chanting, and remembering. And then when you get, but that's types, wait a minute. The stages are divided that way.
Okay, so I brought something in that was on a different page, but
It's on a different
you get
track.
initiated. It's a different day
Yeah.
for discussion, but initiated and then trained up. So let's continue. Number 4 is Anartha Nivritti.
Anartha Nivritti.
Getting rid of anarthas,
Getting rid of anarthas.
unwanted things in the heart.
Unwanted things in the heart. Please.
Number we still have to have that game. Name that
Name that anartha.
Number 5, Nishtha.
Nishta.
Steadiness and self-realization.
Steadiness and self-realization.
Rishi.
Rishi.
Ruchi.
Yeah. It's a Rishi with Ruchi.
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 And that's a taste
A taste.
for hearing about Krishna.
For hearing about Krishna.
Or a taste for devotional service.
Taste for devotional service.
Number 7. Now this is an interesting word to pronounce too. Asakti.
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 And that is attachment for Krishna.
Attachment for Krishna.
Number 8, Bhava.
Bhava.
Preliminary stage of love of God.
Preliminary stage of love of God.
And that's before the last one, which is our goal, Prema.
Prema.
And this is real love of God.
Real love of God.
Highest perfectional stage of life.
Highest perfectional stage of life.
I see that head going, wow. That's the highest. So if you want the highest, you know, you want the best. Some people out there like Life of the Rich and Famous, they want the best. And somebody who says money is no object. But we can't all say that, but energy and to be honest, I heard that laziness is the opposite of love.
Huh.
And the reason you can't chant all the rounds and do all the service or something, you know, if your loved one said, "Could you get that for me?" "Oh yes, dear." You'd be right there on the spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sometimes I know that.
Okay.
Depends on how much you love it.
Yeah, you know, and especially when it's all fresh and new and fire. But you know, the fire, it goes down to a nice mellow glow. But we still have to keep love alive in our relationships with friends and family. But love for Krishna is the main goal. And we can see from examples, this is, I think, our relationships give us an example of how this love kind of works. Because if you talk to someone in the world here, and you say, you know, we're talking about love of God, they go, "Oh, I know a little bit about love." They kind of know a little bit about love. And if you said that laziness is the opposite of love, I think that resonates with some people. So when we have those opportunities to show love for Krishna, we should check on our laziness. First time I heard that, I think it was in Atlanta, and Jai Govardhan of
Pure bliss.
Pure Bliss. He was talking to a devotee in the kitchen, and things were not getting washed correctly, and I think some of us who do pot washing from time to time can sort of recognize this. Sometimes it's hard to get every little spot. But he said, "You're doing this for Krishna. You want to love Krishna, right? You're just lazy." And I laughed. I said, couldn't believe he just told this devotee, "You're lazy." And that's the opposite of kind of love. So we go on. These are called progressive stages. The 9 kinds of devotional service are bhakti. That I think bhakti and devotional service are exchangeable to some degree. First one is Shravana.
Shravana.
And that's hearing.
Hearing.
And I think, remember Maharani? No, you might not Maharani. It was Mother Haridwani showed us this little thing that they would teach the kids, like hearing. And they actually would pantomime as they went through the words so they could remember. But it's Shravana, hearing. Kirtanam, chanting.
Chanting.
3, Vishnu Sharanam,
Vishnu Smarna.
remembering
Krishna.
Krishna. Right, not just remembering anything, mundane stuff. 4, Padasedana,
Padasena.
serving the lotus feet.
Serving the Lord's feet.
Archana,
Archana.
worship.
Worship.
Vandanam,
Vandanam.
offering prayers.
Offering prayers.
Dasyam,
Dasyam.
becoming a servant.
Becoming a servant.
And carrying out the orders
And carrying up the orders
of the Lord.
of the Lord.
And see, laziness kind of messes with that one too. 8, Sakyam,
Satyam.
becoming a friend.
Becoming a
And
friend.
that means making a friend with the Lord. So it's like, yeah, isn't that cool? You got a friend. I saw it.
Just call out your name.
Yeah. And Krishna. Atman
Nivedanam.
and that means surrendering.
Surrender.
Say, hands up. Oh, this way. Surrendering all to Him, not just our possessions, but even ourselves. Prabhupada said this verse, you can find these references in the Bhagavatam 7.5, 23, 24. And also, I'm not sure if I bought the book, or one of the three bought the book, but it is in our phone, and that is called the Narada Bhakti Sutta. Narada Bhakti Sutta. You know this book, right?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I've heard of it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, there's a really nice explanation of the types of it as it stages, the kinds, right?
Right. I have to clear.
They know about that.
We can
Look
go,
up on-
we'll save that for a future discussion. That's really incredible. Now, I think is enough time to discuss Disappearance Day. Could you bring that up on your calendar? And
What, am I supposed to read it or something?
yes, would you?
You want me
Because
to
I
read
think
it?
you could go a little lot faster
Okay.
than.
Let's see. Okay, get over to it. Okay. All right. Sri Ishvarpuri disappearance. Sri Krishna-das Kaviraj Goswami has described in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita that the first sprout of the desire tree of devotion was manifested in the person of Sri Madhavendra Puri, and that sprout developed into a sapling in the person of Sri Ishvar Puri. Then, in the person of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was also the gardener himself, that sapling became the trunk of an enormous tree, the desire tree of devotion. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi 9, 10-11. Sri Ishvar Puri appeared in this world on the full moon day of the month of Jyeshta. He served his guru Sri Madhavendra Puri very faithfully, especially during the end of Sri Puripada's life. That must have been Madhavendra Puri, must have been called Sri Puripada. Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya 826. Sri Ishvar Puri, in his travels to various holy places, once came to Sri Dam Navadvip, where he stayed in the house of Sri Gopinathacharya. At that time, Sri Nimai Pandit was absorbed in his pastimes of learning. Ishvar Puri entered Nadia Nagara in disguise, and thus no one could understand who he really was. That noble-minded gentleman was, this is in quotes from Chaitanya Bhagavatam, that noble-minded gentleman was always absorbed in the mellows of devotion to Sri Krishna. He was thus extremely dear to Sri Krishna, and he was an ocean of mercy. No one, however, could recognize him by his dress. By the will of fate, he came to Sri Advaitacharya's house. Chaitanya Bhagavatam Adi 11. He came to where Sri Advaitacharya was engaged in worshipping Sri Krishna and quietly sat down there. By his divine luster, one Vaishnava cannot remain hidden from another. Advaitacharya began to look in his direction again and again. Finally, he asked him, "Who are you? I have a feeling you are a Vaishnava sannyasi." Sri Ishvar Puri very humbly replied, "I am a low-class Shudra, come to view your lotus feet." Mukunda Datta, who was also present, could also understand that this is a Vaishnava sannyasi, and thus he contrived to expose him. In his sweet voice, he began a kirtan describing Sri Krishna's pastimes. When Sri Ishvar Puri heard that kirtan, he at once fell to the ground, and the earth beneath him became wet with his tears. The devotees present were dumbstruck. "We haven't seen a Vaishnava like this before." Advaitacharya very firmly embraced him. Now everyone could understand that this is Madhavendra Puri's dearmost disciple, Sri Ishvar Puri. Loud shouts of Hari Hari rose up in the air. Actually, he's a godbrother of Advaitacharya as part of the initiation. Correct?
I think that's correct, yeah.
Yeah. They just didn't have cameras and didn't see each other all the time, so they just didn't recognize. Sri Ishvar Puri remained at Navadvip for some days. One day when Nimai Pandit was returning home from the school, he happened by chance to meet Sri Ishvar Puri on the way. Sri Ishvar Puri was as though mesmerized while looking at the son of Sachi and thought to himself, He has all the indications of being a divine personage and appears very grave indeed. Srila Ishvara Puri inquired, "O Viprabhuri, may I know your name? Where do you live? What is that manuscript in your hand?" Mahaprabhu very humbly offered his namaskar. Some of his disciples replied, "His name is Nimai Pandit," exclaiming, "You are the famous Nimai Pandit." Ishvara Puri felt very happy to meet him. Mahaprabhu, coming forward and bowing his head, humbly requested, "Shripad, please come with me to my house and be my guest for lunch." Ishvara Puri thought to himself, what a pleasant demeanor he has. As though charmed by some mantra, he quietly came along with the Pandit to his house. Arriving there, Mahaprabhu personally washed his feet while in the deity room. Shachimata offered the various preparations she had prepared for the Lord, that she had prepared to the Lord, offered to the Lord. Then Mahaprabhu served that prasadam to Sri Ishvara Puri and afterwards accepted his remnants. Therefore they sat in the temple, Vishnu Griha, and discussed Krishna Katha, by which they both became filled with ecstatic love. Sri Ishvara Puri thus remained at Navadvip for a few months, staying at the house of Sri Gopinath Acharya. Every day Mahaprabhu would come to have darshan of his lotus feet, and occasionally he would invite him for lunch. At that time, Sri Gadadhar Pandit was just a young boy, and Ishvara Puri was very affectionate to him. He began to teach him from the book which he had composed, Sri Krishna Lilamrita. One evening, when Mahaprabhu had come to offer his obeisances to Ishvara Puri, Srila Puripad spoke to him, "You are a great Pandit. I have composed a manuscript about Sri Krishna's pastimes. If you would please hear it, then I can recite it before you, and you can correct any mistakes that there might be. I will be very pleased if you do this." Mahaprabhu replied smilingly, "Whatever a devotee speaks is dictated by Sri Krishna himself. If anyone sees any fault in this, then he is simply a sinful wretch. Whatever poems he composes, certainly Krishna is very pleased by that. Krishna accepts the mood in which things are offered as the most substantial part of the offering." Unquote. To Ishvara Puri, these words were like drops of nectar, and he could understand that Sri Nimai Pandit was an extraordinary person. After passing some days in Nadia, Ishvara Puri continued his tour of the holy places. Meanwhile, Mahaprabhu was bringing his pastimes of learning to a close, and now desired to reveal his true self and establish the religion of the age by distributing love of Godhead through the chanting of his holy names. Thus he came to Gaya ostensibly to offer pinda for his departed father and forefathers. Sri Ishvara Puri was present at that time in Gaya. After having offered pinda at the various holy shrines, he finally came to the place where the lotus footprints of Sri Vishnu are. While taking darshan and hearing of the glories of the shrine, Mahaprabhu fainted and fell to the ground. By the arrangement of Providence, Sri Ishvara Puri happened to come to that spot just then and learned from Sri Chandrasekhar Acharya what had transpired. After a short time, Mahaprabhu regained his consciousness, and seeing Ishvara Puri, he got up to offer his obeisances. Sri Ishvara Puri embraced him, and the two of them were drenched by each other's tears of love. Mahaprabhu addressed Ishvara Puri, "My journey to Gaya is successful just by my seeing your lotus feet. If one offers pinda at this holy place, then his forefathers become delivered. But simply by seeing you, tens of millions of forefathers get liberation. Therefore, your presence is even more auspicious than that of this holy tirtha. All of the holy tirthas pray for the dust of your lotus feet. Therefore, O Puripad, I am praying at your lotus feet to ferry me across the ocean of material existence and to cause me to drink the nectar from Krishna's lotus feet." Srila Ishvara Puri replied, "Please hear me, Panditji. I have understood that you are an incarnation of the Supreme Lord. This morning I saw a very auspicious dream, and now that has actually materialized. From the first day I saw you at Navadvip, I have always thought of you. I get such pleasure by seeing you, as much pleasure as I get by seeing Krishna." Hearing this, Mahaprabhu bowed his head and smilingly replied, "This is my great fortune." On another day, Mahaprabhu approached Sri Ishvara Puri and requested that he initiate him with the divine mantra. "My mind is becoming very restless in anticipation of this initiation." Srila Puripad very blissfully replied, "What to speak of mantras, I am prepared to offer you my very life." Chaitanya Bhagavat, Adi 17:10. Thereafter, Srila Ishvara Puri initiated Mahaprabhu with the divine mantra. One morning, Srila Ishvara Puri came to where Mahaprabhu was staying. Mahaprabhu was extremely pleased to see him, and after offering his obeisances, he invited him to stay for lunch. Ishvara Puri replied that, being able to accept foodstuffs from your hand is a matter of great fortune for me. Mahaprabhu himself cooked and then very carefully served his guru the prasadam. Afterwards, he smeared sandalwood paste on his body and put a garland of flowers around his neck. Thus, the Supreme Lord himself taught how one should serve his guru. Without serving the great devotees, it is not possible to receive love of Godhead. Service to the guru is the door to devotion. On his return from Gaya, Mahaprabhu came by way of Kumarhata, the birthplace of his guru, and began to roll in the ground in ecstasy there as the ground became wet with his tears. Finally, he collected some dust from that holy place and bound it in the corner of his upper garment, saying, "This dust is as dear to me as my life." Then he set out for Navadvip. The birthplace of Srila Ishvara Puri is located within the present town of Halyahor, which is near the Kantrapara rail station, which is on the Silda Krishna-nagar line. One should get down at Kantrapara station, then proceed by rickshaw to Chaitanya Doha. Doha means pond, which is what was created when many followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, following in his footsteps, came here and collected earth from the birthplace of Srila Ishvara Puri. Thereafter, Mahaprabhu accepted sannyas, and by the order of his mother came to live at Jagannath Puri. By this time, Ishvara Puri had already left this world. He sent two of his disciples, Sri Govinda and Kashishvara Brahmachari, to serve the Lord at Nilachala. That's the end.
That's the end.
Jai.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Should be open for questions right quick. Question?
What's a blessing? Exactly. What would a blessing be?
You know what's interesting is it's not always this could be good, this could be bad. It doesn't seem to always be positive. It's always positive in the end, but it may not be positive at the time, because it's the verse that says that what goes in like poison in the end becomes nectar.
Poison in the beginning and nectar at the end, like things
so
in a mode of
it could be
goodness.
Like, this is terrible, and it goes back to this could be good, this could be bad.
No.
Like this is.
I'm looking to see. It seems like there's two meanings. So
Yeah.
let me see.
What do you have? And what's the reference?
I'm looking up in the dictionary.
Okay. Oh,
The
the
definition
dictionary.
of the word. 1, approval that allows or helps you to do something. 2, help and approval from God. 3, something that helps you or brings happiness. So that covers this one.
And something could be good or at that moment not so tasty.
But
Because it's a blessing to get higher education for some people, but you gotta go through all that to bring them on the road, and the papers and the effort to get
so
to go.
it could be like good wishes.
Yes.
I give you my blessing,
And
my
this is-
good wishes.
This
You
is
know,
why
that could be-
Srila Prabhupada would sign, at one time he was
Yeah.
signing,
Your
your ever well
wishes.
wishes.
Yeah.
And then help and approval from God, which is more substantial than devotees' good wishes, because God sometimes like moves things to help you. And then something that helps you or brings happiness. So it's many blessings on your birthday or something. May your life be happy and good stuff, as people say. Or the sages were able to give blessings, and maybe they're able to, by their mystic powers, actually give some good. Or sometimes we, just by our good wishes, we give blessings to the devotee that Krishna helps them, because all the devotees are giving good wishes. So, and all this is good wishes in a way. So,
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that.
yeah. Probably there's more than one meaning.
Thank you
That's
very
right
much.
Jai.
All glories to Srimad Bhagavatam. All glories to Ishvara Puri. All glory to all the Vaishnava saints. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. And
Jai.